family of God, the Israelites, and there's a lot of misconception going on around about a lot of different things, and that's one of them. You have some people claiming to be the lost tribe, and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's about the Lord, isn't it? And being saved, and it's good to know that the Lord would save even me, amen, and that He would save us. Give us an opportunity. Anybody else want to share where you've been reading in the Bible? Something's been speaking to you?
I'm trying to find it. I can't remember.
Oh, you know what it was, but it's you weren't expecting me to ask. All right. Jeff, you awake back there?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. All right. You found it?
No man that worth entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier.
Yeah, no man
2 Timothy 2:4.
that warreth entangleth himself with the things of this life. That's right. Yeah, no soldier does. They're all about war, and we're in a race against time, and time is all we have, right? That's all we have given to us. It's time, and how we spend that time is the most important thing. And we're in a spiritual battle against things that we can't see, things that we don't understand, prince of the power of the air, principalities of the darkness of this world. But the Lord has equipped us with a helmet of salvation, right? And breastplate of righteousness. Our loins are girt about with the truth. Our feet are shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. He's given us the sword of the Spirit, and He's given us the shield of faith. Did I miss anything? I think right after that it mentions prayer. And so He's given us all these weapons of war, and He says, don't get yourself tangled up with all the stuff down here. And there's plenty of time to do that, right? And plenty of opportunity to do that. He says, be busy. Be busy about doing the work of God. And so we'll try to do that. Amen. Hezekiah is in 2 Kings chapter 20. Hezekiah. 2 Kings 20. So I was reading this, and the Lord delivers. I mean, He delivers in chapter 15 the children of Israel. And in verse 32 of chapter 15, so let's go back to chapter 15, or I'm sorry, chapter 19, verse, I said chapter 15, didn't I? It's chapter 19, verse 32. And let's begin in verse 32. Therefore thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into the city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with a shield, nor cast a bank against it. And he had been just railing against the city, and had been just, man, he was going to kill them all, and told the people don't believe in Hezekiah, and Hezekiah had been praying, and don't believe in him, and everything. And verse 33, by the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into the city, saith the Lord, for I will defend, notice what he says, I will defend the city, to save it for mine own sake, for my servant David's sake. It came to pass that night that the angel of the Lord, verse 35, went out and smote in the camp of the Assyrians. Now you got to understand this. This is a huge group of people. What do you do with all the bodies, by the way? All right. 185,000. Okay, so 80 is 80. A score is 20. So 180. I was reading this and I was like, I knew this. I read it before. 185,000. And I like the last part of the verse. It's kind of funny. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead men. So it wasn't the Assyrians that arose, okay? It was the children of Israel got up. All the Assyrians are dead. Now, they've been preparing for battle. They'd been preparing for the siege. They'd been listening to this mantra coming from this evil king, and all these things are happening, and everybody's terrified, everybody's wondering what in the world's going to happen, and Hezekiah is praying, and who is he depending on? God. Nothing wrong with depending on God. He knows what he's doing. Look at verse 36. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed, and when he returned, and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. It came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, false god, of course, that Abimelech and Shadezer, his sons, smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. Boy, he was a tough guy, wasn't he? And he was going to take them all over, and he had all this rhetoric, and he was deriding the God of Israel, and the man that God had put in as king, and the prophets, and he was telling all these things. He was deriding the Bible, and you know what? They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Let them do it. We know who's going to win in the end. And in this case, what a horrible end for this guy. And all of his soldiers. So think about all the families that lost somebody. And then what do they do with all the bodies? That's a lot of bodies. That's a lot of funerals. Did they come back and get them? Doesn't say. Did they just dig a big pit, throw them all in there? I don't know. Doesn't say.